What's up, folks? I'm Dwayne,
I'm Alicia.
and this is Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there.
Waiting to be played by you and yours.
I'm a simple man, don't want a complication. Complication.
Hey, everybody! Today, we're going to give you a heads up on a game that's coming soon to Kickstarter.
Today, we're going to talk about Shake That City.
Shake That City is designed by Mads Flo and Care Torn Dog Care. If I messed up your names, I truly apologize. And this game is published by AEG.
Let's go to the table for a brief overview of how this game is played.
Shake That City is a tile placement game for 1 to 4 players where the players are competing, trying to build out their own neighborhood. When you first open the game, the first thing you're going to have to do is assemble this cube shaker, which is an integral part of the game. And the rule book has detailed instructions on how to assemble the cardboard pieces. And then once all those pieces are assembled, you're going to take 2 rubber bands and wrap it around the whole assembly, placing them in these 4 triangular slots, and then flipping them through these 2 slots here. Once the cube shaker is assembled, we're going to take all 32 of these cubes and place them into the cube shaker like so. And then once we've done that, we're going to move it to the middle of the table in reach of all players. Then we're going to take this round tracker and we're going to take the round tracker disc and place it on the 1 spot. Next, we're going to take the 5 different building tiles and place them in a general supply in reach of all players. Each player is going to get a player board, and these player boards are double-sided. You have your landlocked side here, and on the other side you got your beachfront side, which got the water here. For our first game, we're going to use the landlocked side. And then each player is going to get a set of 7 bonus tiles, and they're going to take the one that's shaped like a corner, and they're going to place it on their board in the same orientation. Doesn't matter where everybody's seated at the table. So, for example, this player is placing his corner tile in the northwest corner of his board. The player to his left is going to place his tile in the southwest corner of his board, in his orientation. The player across from him is going to set his corner tile in the southeast corner of his board, and then the player to the right is placing their corner tile in the northeast corner of their board. Once everybody has done that, then whoever was the last player to have shaken something will be chosen as the first player. And they're going to take the other 6 of their bonus tiles and they're going to randomly place it around their board, starting from the corner tile from each direction. Once he's done that, then all the other players are going to place their tiles matching where he has his tiles. Then we're going to take one of these reference boards and place it in reach of all players. And now we can start the game. So the game is going to last 15 rounds. And in each round, the active player is going to take this cube shaker and give it a really good shake on the table. Then he's going to push this little tab in, boop, and he's going to lift this up, and it's going to reveal a 3x3 grid of cubes. There are 5 different color cubes in the game, and the cubes, each color cube represent a different building tile. So this gray cube represents roads, green cube represents parks, this black cube represents factories, the red cube represents residential homes, and the blue cubes represents shops that you could place into your city. So now the active player will choose a color cube that only he can use, and he's going to find that matching building tile and he's going to place it out onto his board in available spaces. Now when he grabs a specific color cube, he's going to have to place it in that configuration. So like, let's say he decides to get factories, He has to place one here and then place one here or anywhere on the board. So let's say that's what he decides to do. He's going to get the two factory tiles, and he decides to place one here, and then he has to place the other one there. Once he's chosen his color, all other players can choose a color, but they can't choose the same color that the active player chose. But they can choose the same color as each other. So let's say the second player decides they're going to place parks, and the third player decides they're going to place parks, and the fourth player says, I'm going to go after this residential home. Then once everybody has chosen their cube color and grabbed those matching building tiles, then we're going to place these cubes back into the box. We're going to move the round tracker, and then that round is going to end, and the next player in turn becomes the active player. Now, when it gets to round 13, 14, and 15, it changes up. So the other players can choose the same color cubes that the active player has chosen. Now, once 15 rounds are over, then we're going to count up our points, and whoever has the most points will be the winner. So let's go over how these building tiles score. Rolled tiles score 1 point for being on the edge or being connected to other rolled tiles that lead to the edge. So if you look at this rolled tile will be scoring me 1 point at the end of the game. These rolled tiles each score 1 point because it's connected to the edge. This one over here by himself doesn't score 0 points because it's by itself. But if I'm able to place a rolled tile here, then this will score 1 point, this will score 1 point. Parks can score up to 2 points each. 1 point for being adjacent to factories and 1 point for being adjacent to homes. So if you look at this park is scoring no points. This park is scoring 1 point. This park is scoring 2 points. 1 for being next to this factory, 1 for being next to this home. And because it doesn't score a point for each home, it just has to be adjacent to any number of homes. And this park scores 1 point for being adjacent to a factory. Factories can score up to 2 points each. 1 point for being next to other factories and 1 point for being next to roads. So like this factory over here is scoring nothing. This factory is scoring 2 points because it's next to this factory and next to this road. 1 for them next to this road, even though this road's not connected. So this road is still scoring 0 points. This factory is scoring 1 point. Doesn't matter how many is next to it, just scores 1. And this factory is scoring 1 point. Shops score if they're on the outer edge of the board or if they're adjacent to a road that's connected to the outer edge. So of course, in order for a shop to sell things, it has to be able to accept deliveries, right? And it also scores depending on which zone it's in. So you notice there's a gray zone, brown zone, and green zone. And it will score more points the deeper it is into your player board. So for example, this shop is connected to the outer edge, so it's scoring 1 point. This shop is connected to this road that leads to the outer edge, and it's in the brown zone, so this shop is scoring 2 points. This shop right here is connected to this road, and it's in the gray zone, so it's scoring 3 points. This shop is not connected to a road, so it's scoring 0 points. And this shop, even though it's next to a road, this road is not connected to the outer edge, so this shop is scoring 0 points. Homes score 2 points for each single home or each group of adjacent homes. So as it stands now, this home will be scoring me 2 points into the game. These two homes, even though they're next to each other, they would score me 2 points. So later on in the game, let's say I had to put this home here and this home here, this whole thing will only score me 2 points. Now, the other thing is, if a home is next to a factory, then that single home or group of homes will score me 0 points. So let's say later on in the game, there was one black cube out on the grid, and this was the only empty space. The rule book says that if you can, you have to. You can't decide not to place it. So if I'm stuck in that situation, then I will have to take this factory tile and place it here. Now since I placed that factory tile here, these 4 homes are all worth 0 points, which would be a bummer. Another way we would score points is through these bonus tiles that we randomly place around the board. So this corner tile lets me, if I get to a point where I have 2 of each building tile on the board, then I will flip this over. It will score me 3 points. So if I picked a blue cube and placed this shop here, then I will have 2 shops, 2 homes, 2 roads, 2 factories, and 2 parks. So I will flip this over. I scored 3 points. Now these other tiles, they will score for either or. So like, for example, this one, if I fill this row up with building tiles, doesn't matter which type, I will flip this over and score 3 points. Or if I get 4 residential homes here, and then I would flip this over and score 3 points. So I don't need to do both of them, I just need to do one of them. So for example, up here, let's say later on in the game, I put this factory here. So now I have 4 factories, and that's what I require there. So I will flip this over, and now I'm gonna get 3 points at the end of the game. So like I said, the game ends after 15 rounds. And then everybody will score up their points using this really nice score sheet. And whoever has the most points will be the winner of Shake That City. So the first thing I had to point out is this is a prototype copy of the game. So I don't know what the final product is going to look like. With that said, I am really excited for this game because I was having too much fun with that cube shaker.
Now, I have to agree with you about the cube shaker. It's clever and it's unique.
Yeah, right, because it's really just a tile placement game. It is an abstract tile placement game, but they took it to the next level by putting that cube shaker in there. And I really like the puzzle of, like, you know, when in the earlier rounds, when you were the reveal of the cubes you got to work with. And so, like, okay, I know I could put this building here, put this building here. But in later rounds, it starts getting a little bit more restrictive.
Yeah, because you put so much stuff out there that what you would like to get, you might not be able to get because you have to keep it in the same orientation and configuration, and that creates the challenge.
Yeah, I love that challenge, you know, and even though it's kind of random, but you got different choices.
Well, one of the things I appreciate is that you do have choices, and most of the time you should be able to find a choice that you can do something with.
That benefits you.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
But like I said, in the later rounds, it get hard.
It gets more challenging.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I really did like that. Sure. Did you like the theme?
Actually, the theme reminds me of Quadropolis and Suburbia. And yes, I definitely like, the theme. I like the way they set it up, the way you score the buildings in juxtaposition to what it's next to.
Right.
Like, shops need to be next to roads because you got to access the shop. So I like that. I like that you don't want to put a factory next to a house.
Yeah, because they don't want to hear all that noise.
Who wants a factory? Who wants to live near a factory? And in real life, that's not appealing. But a factory next to another factory is actually not a bad thing. So I love how they incorporated the thematic elements into the game.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, it's just a tile placement game.
It is a tile placement
But I can't get past that cube shaker.
Yeah, that cube shaker is dare I say, a game changer.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean, so do you think, this game isn't long.
Yeah, actually,
It's not really long.
I like that it moves quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, once the active player chooses their cubes, then everybody gets to choose theirs, And I like the different, like, scoring opportunities or whatever. But
Yeah, I like those too. And I like that it's randomized so that you're not playing the same game all the time.
yeah, I mean, I think this is a really cool game, like to bring people into the hobby, but it really tests their spatial awareness. Cause I know that's your
My challenge. Yes.
And it was fun watching you, like, okay, if I put this here, and maybe I'll put this, and if I put this and this and this, and you trying to figure out your best, the best way to place these building tiles onto your board.
Yes.
Yes.
So
So overall, I mean, I'm excited for this game.
yeah, I think that this is a family weight game. I think that I agree with you. I do think the shaker is kind of cute, and it gives it a little unique twist.
I kept singing, shake it up, boom, boom, I just kept doing it. Every time I was like, yeah, okay, but yeah, enjoyed this game.
Yeah,
So
this is definitely a quick get it in where you can fit it in kind of game. So I like that.
yeah, it's not that hard to set up. That's true. So, but anyway, like I said, this game is coming to Kickstarter. I think it's coming November 29th, and you should really check this game out. Definitely check it out because you and your family will really love this game. Now, if you like the contents of this video, feel free to hit the like button. Subscribe.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
This has been Blackboard Gaming.
We will see you next time.